mobilized so we can upgrade our impressions. Because, on the other hand, when you are in Jamaica, when you are in Haiti, and they say Obia, they are talking about African traditional religion. They are talking about witchcraft. But Obia is just a woman. So that means people took from here across the seas the idea that it is women who are witches. You see? So that is there. And when I think of us meeting like this, I'm saying we have to sort ourselves out, say our own words, and not what people are saying about us. I hope we can deal with it. I hope we can deal with marriage. Because you can never talk to African women, certainly not Ghanaian women. By the time you have done 2 sentences, they are asking about marriage. Even the men. Are you married? They don't ask the men, are you married? If you are a woman, are you married? They introduce a woman, then they'll say, oh, she has 4 children. So they introduce a man, they don't even say he has a wife. So with the women, the marriage is top on the agenda. So I hope we will talk about marriage. Now I have something here that I hope you will read. And it was done by men. It was done by men. They have listed the things that they know destroy marriage. And they have this nice picture of a woman standing in church being asked, do you take this man for your lawful husband? And then they read her the riot act, and she says, I don't. I don't. Why don't you? Okay, it says, do you take this man to be your lawfully wedded husband, to always treat him like a king, to take tender care of him when he is ill, without expecting the same from him, to take full responsibility for his debts, not to protest when he wipes away your savings, when he forcibly takes your salary, never to seem better than your husband, intellectually or financially, to dutifully play down your achievements and ambitions so he doesn't feel insecure and threatened. Not to complain when you are the breadwinner and he becomes violent because of his bruised ego. To accept his alcoholism and irresponsibilities. To give up your job and your dreams for the family. And to wear mitumbas. I think mitumbas means second-hand clothes. As he buys designer clothes. Not to complain when there is no food in the house. And not to dream of driving or going in his car to work or anywhere else for that matter. It's okay if he drives your car, but it's not okay if you drive his car. To faithfully yield to your wifely duty on demand. To be silent when he sexually molests your daughter. And quietly accept his infidelity. Never to argue with his relatives when they say you are not a good wife, mother. Not even to think of running to the neighbors for help or call the police when he beats you. And to always remember you will be blamed for his violence. To resign to your fate when he finally divorces you on the grounds of your sagging breast, old age, falling teeth, physical and mental illness, when HIV raises ugly head. Till death do you part, I don't. So we have to deal with marriage. We have to deal with education. We have to deal with education. Because, again, let me read something from here. Half the Sky says, in the 19th century, the central moral challenge was slavery. In the 20th century, it was the battle against totalitarianism. We believe that in this century, the paramount moral challenge will be the struggle for gender equality in the developing world. Now what's the question? Then you can do if he, oh yeah, one do Hitler free na what man I will now do Munya. What you should be a democracy. None that's it. Moab there. Messia folk in your was written on no way on all the yay. And then I was and one day I was a young say, yeah, you was a new thing. One need I knew. Yeah. No, hey. And there is a saying which is going around the world. These days, when they even say, they don't say who was saying it. Educate a man and you educate an individual. Educate a woman and you educate the nation. My sisters and a couple of brothers, I want you to remember that the person who said this was James Kweju Agre. Kweju Agre, and I want to read the story a little bit because it is also a story that links us with the diaspora, links Africa with the diaspora. On the 14th of October 1920, Dr. Thomas Jesse Jones, chairman of the Plebstoke African Education Commission in the USA, came to Ghana, and in his team, this James Kweju Agre from Ghana was studying in the USA, so came with the Plebstoke Commission. I met a woman who was in 475, belongs to this Plebstoke family. Then they went to West Leaders High School. Then June 1925, he came back by himself. And he was promoting education for girls. He was going around telling people to send their girls to school. But please, I want you to listen very carefully. And therefore, I'm not going to do my dramatics. I'm going to read. In 18th June 1925, he returned there and in his address to the girls, described the prevailing aim of girls' education as that of inculcating domestic arts and virtues. The aim of education is inculcating domestic arts and virtues. In the school logbook, he wrote, among other things, to educate a boy is to educate an individual. To educate a girl is to educate a family. That's what he wrote. You educate a boy, you educate an individual. You educate a girl, you educate a family. And why? The missionaries were having a problem of getting us into Western education in the first place. But as for getting girls into Western education, that was a real tug of war. Because they kept saying, what is all this? We want our girls to get married and have children. What has ABCD and 1, 2, 3 got to do with having children? So, the missionaries were trying to find out, what can we say to make these people bring their girls to school? So they were trying to tell them, if you bring the girls to school,